What's happening, guys? It's Peter here. Hope you're doing well. Wanted to change it up and actually record from my office today because I was just reading some questions here and I thought, man, I'd answer a few. And basically, one of the questions that came up recently was I've built a bunch of tools. And what I'm talking about here in terms of tools are things like worksheets or guides, handouts, those types of things. And should I sell them or should I give them away? And I think what the temptation is here, and specifically for the gentleman that asked it, is that he has developed his own tools and he has put his logo and his branding on it. He's put a lot of time into it. And, they're fine tools. I was taking a quick peek at them and they're fine. They work well, but they're all spreadsheet based. And that's fine too. The issue to me with it is two things. One, do I have the credibility that my tool is correct for, first of all, like all the calculations correct? Is the math correct or the estimations, those types of things? And two, is my tool unique? So, one, if you are a paragon of mathematics and you're selling spreadsheets, then might be, if you're an expert in it, if you have a reputation for building fantastic tools and having the math fixed, it's one of those things where, if you have a version 2 or the math changes and things like that, do you have a way to send out updates? I don't know, maybe you do, but that is kind of one thing, right? So a lot of people, companies that build it will have ways to push out new updates, or they will have their compliance number. Hey, this is the April 2020 version, and they'll push out a new version when it's ready, the September 2020 or whatever, and or that rules or laws change. So it's one of those things. How much are you going to be committed to it, and what is your level of expertise in it? But then two, is there a better tool out there? And I'm asking because if you're doing a budget spreadsheet, I can tell you that there are a million budget spreadsheets out there. Some of them are very good, many of them that have math in it. So when I was building my toolkit, the toolkit for my program, I should say, we had the branding on there and all of that. One, we had professional graphics designers lay it out. Then we had the software developers working with, say, Adobe, within Adobe Pro, to add the math, to add the formulas, to add the logic, right? So now they were standalone. They couldn't be edited. You couldn't lift out the math out of them. You couldn't lift the logic out of them. You could just pull them up on your screen. You could type in your numbers. They worked great. They'd give you the outputs. They'd even give you some flags. So there was some logic there. And they were pretty good. But I'll tell you what, we still didn't sell them. We still gave them away. And why was that? Well, because Sally Mae has a great budget spreadsheet out there. If it's a spending calendar, or if it's an activity tracker or a goal tracker, all those things are out there. And yes, there might be disparate. A company or a person might have just one or two of those, but are you building something that I couldn't go out and aggregate on my own? So for example, if you're selling me, say, 5 key worksheets, budget tool, spending tool, a cost savings tool, those types of things, and it's, let's even call it $20, right? One, is there a market for that? Or would I just say, hey, instead of $20, I can spend 5 minutes Googling, download some great spreadsheets that might be better. Yes, they might say Vanguard on one and, Dave Ramsey on the other and whatever, right? So is that the case here? Or is yours so good, so unique? Are you doing something so different, right, that there might not be a good mortgage payoff or early payment calculator or those types of things? Well, great. Or a calculator on how much money I can save using an electric car versus a gas car, right? Maybe someone hasn't put that spreadsheet together or that calculator together, right? That might be really unique. But if that's not the case, then how are you going to sell it? And I'm not opposed to it if you can find the people that will sell it. But if you are using, say, your coaching, right, and you have the people there and you have these tools and you're saying, hey, you should buy this, then great. Now, I would say that one of the big values for people is that, and I don't have it right here, I think. Oh, I do. So, if you take a course like Financial Peace University, or in this case, this is a course I mentored, led, Freed Up Financial Living, they have a bunch of those same resources, but they have put them into their own book. It follows their curriculum. There's nothing special or unique about this in terms of like the information that it provides, but it's curated. And if I'm going to follow along in your program, your step by step, and all this is put together with the commentary and it's all in the same order that maybe your DVDs and things like that are, then that is worth $20 to me, even though there's nothing special about it, no special or unique content. But if it's curated and customized so that it follows my content, then great. And if you're doing that, you have a process, you have a course, you have a program, those types of things, then yes, maybe you could say, listen, for an extra $20, you can get these worksheets. If you don't want to, you can probably go out and find all of these on your own. But here is the package so you will know step one, step two, step three. And that can be a great value add. But just putting them together and saying, hey, here are my bundle of financial worksheets or activities, I don't know that has a lot of value. And especially when I've seen really, really good resources out there, I think you might want to rethink that. So in my case, I would just give them away. And in the case of the resources that I helped create, one of the things I was thinking about is just bundling them all up and emailing them out or having them available as a download for all the financial coaches, because like I said, we put a lot of time and effort into them. They were used for our program and we never had any intention of selling them. And so the more people that use them and can get going right away, great. But I didn't need to be compensated for it and, kind of bore the cost of developing them anyway. But, for financial coaches that are looking for a large library of resources, I mean, I think we had 50 or 60 different types of activities and resources in that bundle. That can be a good way to just kind of skip over that step of development of your programming and get working. I think the key here is that you want to get working. And I think a lot of people think about these extra streams of income that they might be able to generate on the effort they put together. And you can, but just building them really isn't the big value. Building them and coordinating them, kind of building the orchestra is the most important piece, right? Learning the clarinet is not unique. Learning the trombone is not unique, but putting it all together in a piece like this workbook represents does, I think, represent special value. So that's just my thought. If you have built your own tools and resources, should you sell them or give them away? Again, hopefully I've made it clear that I don't know that most of the stuff I've seen is any different than any of the other free stuff and maybe not as good. So I would just give them away, right? Just give them away. And you probably won't even give that many away. But if you do, chalk it up to marketing, get your name out there, get your company name if that's what you do, get it circulated out there, and hopefully maybe that will kind of build up your reputation, establish some expertise for you, and maybe bear some fruit for your product and your service and your coaching or counseling or whatever it might be, and that'll be your gift to the world. But if you have something really unique, then go ahead and charge. But I don't think you need to ask people if you should sell it or give it away. I think the market will tell you whether they were willing to buy it or not. That's it. Hopefully that helps. Keep on keeping on, guys. I'll see you later.